Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Rosenfeld and I am in Houston, Texas. I'm a franchise owner with Network in Action, and Kelsey is actually a member of one of my two all women's groups. So I'm very excited to have Kelsey today. She's a fractional COO, and the name of her company is the Virtual Integrator. And basically, she helps people with their business system. She's a business system strategist, and what she does in her practice, she works with the founders of companies and people that are currently making money, but they just feel like they have too much going on. Um, and they really want to see if they can get their business to work without them. She started her business in March of 2023, and she says basically that she hasn't looked back since. She works with business owners, like I said, who are scaling and they're getting drowned in the details. She helps them to get out of the weeds, stop being bottlenecked, and lead with clarity instead of constant reaction. She says that if you ever hear yourself say, "It's just easier if I do it myself," you need to be talking to her. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey, and very excited to have you here. And thanks so much for doing this today.
Hey Lisa, thank you.
Uh
Hi
huh.
everybody. How's everyone doing? Okay. So before we get started, I'm gonna get my screen sharing with you guys. And as I'm doing that, because I'm technology delayed, is what we're gonna say today. Really quickly, I just want to ask everybody, if you want to drop it into the chat, how many tabs do you currently have open in your browser right now, or browsers? And if you have things grouped, that doesn't count. I mean tabs.
Many. I mean, look.
Because I know for myself, it's usually between, I'm gonna say 5 and 10. 50 plus. Brent, that is so, those buttons got to be so tiny. How can you even see those things? I'm calling you out. Okay, we got 2, we got 10. I love it. 12, 15. Okay, 40. Danielle, 50 million. Okay, girl. Okay, great. So as you guys can tell, we all do it. You're not the only one there. So, one thing that I really like to talk to my clients about, and really anybody that wants to hear me talk on my soapbox, because this is my love language, is we all hit a ceiling in our business. And it's not the lack of vision. You're still doing all the small things, but that vision just kind of sometimes keeps getting pushed to tomorrow. And these tabs are a way of those to-do lists, those action items, the things that fall on your shoulders that you pretty much end up owning. So we're going to talk through that today, and we're going to get clear on where you actually are. And we're focusing on sales. So I want you to kind of lock down all of the things that are going on in your brain and really put on your sales hat for your business today. Okay, so getting started, just do a quick intro for you guys. So, a quick housekeeping. Go ahead and mute yourselves for right now, just so we can minimize that background noise. So, this is going to be an interactive session. As you guys already know, I already leveraged the chat. That's what we're going to be doing today. And then at one point, I'm going to be requesting you come off mute. So, be prepared to participate. And one thing that I like to do is remind people it's all about what's caught, not just taught. So, as you're listening to other team members from NIA asking questions, giving their examples, pay attention. You might pick up some tips and tricks along the way. I'm going to drop 2 links into our Google chat or into our chat, and they are going to be one is going to be a PDF, and the other one is going to be a Google Doc, depending on if you're a Google Suite person. So, let me just pull that up really quick. And these are going to be the workbooks that we're using today. Okay, grab my chat. Here is your first one. This is the PDF. And then the next one is if you are a Google Suite person, you can just go ahead and copy this and then open it up on your screen. If you just want to have it in front of you and work on a piece of paper, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so a quick intro. I know Lisa already said this. Been running my business for 3 years since March 2023, March 3rd. It's my husband's birthday, so it's kind of cool. But I've actually been doing business operations, project management, process improvement, all of those things for about 16 plus years. I like to say that I'm dinner table certified from like middle school, so it even goes further back when it comes to process improvement and project management. I mean, this is a love language for me, guys. So I love helping people work through these things. And really just kind of reiterating, helping business owners stop doing the small things so they can actually step into the big vision. So again, all these tabs are open on your browser. That's essentially your brain. Your brain is constantly processing. And this is more so for the women, but as like a woman, a mother, a business owner, you're the CEO of your house, CFO, COO, Chief Experience Officer. We have a lot of things that we're doing all the time. So this is really going to help you take time today to truly focus on your sales processes and really get an understanding of where you are and what's happening. So before I start, let me just get my notes. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do the quick audit. This is something that I love doing with my clients. And I think what the best part of this audit is you can apply it to any aspect of your business. Today, like I mentioned, we're doing sales. You can focus this on everything. You could focus it on marketing, wherever you're starting to see gaps appear, where things just start to feel a little fuzzy. So, right in front of us, we have 4 buckets. What's right, wrong, confused, and missing. 4 words. That's it. 4 buckets, 4 words, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the first one. So, what's right? This is what's working smoothly in your business that you're proud of. And I like to make sure we call this out first because I don't know about you guys. I know I personally will hit a goal and I'll be like, okay, good job. On to the next one. And I don't take a moment to really reflect and celebrate something that I'm doing right in my business. So I really like to make a point that everybody is capturing something that they're doing right in their business and celebrate that moment because it's a win. So, for example, what's working right in your sales process? It could be like what I have here. It's Tuesday. You have a discovery call booked. You're prepared. You have your notes. You know who the person is. Your Zoom is working. You're not on mute when you get onto the call and forget you're on mute. You're ready to go. That's something that's going right in your business right now. Okay, so now we're moving into what's wrong. This is what's clearly broken. And maybe it's how you're getting those leads in. Maybe it's not closing the leads. So, for your example, you get on a call and you realized you grabbed your notes, but it was for the wrong person. Maybe you got lost in your Google Drive. Sometimes it's a black hole. Something's wrong. Maybe you don't have things organized the way they should be. Confused. So, this is what you can't figure out and you can't really figure out why your deals aren't closing. So, I have this example of the call felt great. They seemed interested. You followed up once. Crickets. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys do a couple of raise of hands, or if you want to just say me in the chat. I know I can definitely put that in there where it's that little cricket cricket. And this kind of circles back to something I know our previous presenter, Jess, talks about all the time is that follow-up with people. What's your follow-up process? How are you closing loops with people? What's your BAM fam? And if you haven't heard of BAM fam, let's book a call, book a meeting from a meeting. Do you have these processes in place? I see. Yep, I'm already seeing the yups and the me's come through. You guys aren't alone. And the next thing, what's missing? So, what should exist in your sales process but doesn't actually exist yet? And don't worry, everybody's here. There's always something that we can be doing a little bit better. So, you realize you don't have a proposal template, a follow up sequence. Maybe you don't have clear next steps for your conversations, or maybe even just a process about how to get off the call. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you get that, okay, it's great talking to you. Yeah. Okay, bye. Yeah, okay. And then who hits cancel first? So there's always those weird, awkward silences, and it's making sure that you have your things in place. And when something starts to feel fuzzy, we start calling it out. So I want to kind of give you guys a quick real life example. One thing that I was explaining it to my husband actually the other day is think about when you're making a dinner and it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, I feel like that's the most traditional thing is Taco Tuesday. So what's right about Taco Tuesday? You know it's Tuesday. You know you're having tacos. You already know what's happening in your life. What's wrong? Well, when you go to go make your tacos, you grabbed cinnamon instead of cumin. And you didn't realize it. So by accident, now your food is going to taste a little funny. So move to confused. Now you're confused because you're eating your food, you're testing. Because we always do that quality check on the little like wooden spoon. And you're like, oh, something's off here. You didn't realize what just took place. And then what's missing? You sit down to eat and you didn't buy the taco shells. You had everything else, but you forgot the shells. So really applying when you're thinking through your sales process, thinking through your sales system and how you guys are working through and building your business. What feels right? What feels wrong, confused, and missing? And one thing that I want to make sure we talk through about that is all of these things kind of end up running in parallel. You'll find that your thing that is confused, you might have an answer sitting right and missing. And as you're working through these items, you're going to start seeing little loops process and things pop up. So before we get started, I want to make sure, did everybody get a copy of the document that I shared in the chat? I see some yeses. Okay, good. I love the head nods, guys. Okay, I want you to fill this up. So we are going to start with our interactive exercise, but first I'm going to make you do some work. So I want you to get your sheet, get your paper, and start thinking through your sales process. And I'll bring up the 4 buckets again so you have some examples. And I'm going to take about 4 minutes. Once you guys are done, if you want to drop like a done in the chat, that would be great. But I want you to take, let's see, let's do 4 minutes, 1 minute per bucket, and just brain dump what comes to mind. What's something that's right in your business when it comes to your sales process? Do you have your discovery funnel, like the way that you do these calls? Do you have a framework in place? What's wrong? What's missing? Do you have notes prepared? Do you know where you're actually going to find your leads and work through your sales? Like, do you have a funnel in place? Confused. Like I had in here, the call felt great. Some people were interested, but then crickets. So I'll stop talking and I'll let you guys start populating your sheet. If you have a question, please drop it into the chat. And I apologize for any weird faces when I freeze that you may be witnessing as I'm talking today. 17. Okay, looks like everyone's doing great. Everyone's finishing out their notes. Okay, so this is now where I'm going to start picking on you, and I want you guys to interact. I want you to unmute and ask questions. But first, we're going to go through and we're going to celebrate what's going right in your business. So let me drop in here. Okay, so don't all unmute at once, guys. Tell me something that's going right in your sales process. What's something that you're super proud of?
Okay, I'll go first.
And if you don't mind, say your name and your business if you have a second.
Can you hear me, Kelsey?
I can.
Okay. Darla McLemore with Emerald Street Designs, jewelry design and sales. For me, what's going right is my branding message. How I'm representing the business. I feel really solid about that.
I love that. Oh, I do want to make a caveat. Don't judge my spelling while we're here. All right, that is really awesome, Darla. That's a huge win and milestone. All right, who else? What else you guys got?
One thing going right for me, this is Lisa Rosenfeld, Network in Action, franchise owner, is meeting enough prospects, a fairly large funnel.
Teach us your ways, Obi-Wan.
And then from there, we have an introduction to Network in Action. It's a PowerPoint, but it's a really good tool that I use when I go on my appointments. And then a follow-up. I have written an email that's a follow-up email that I've gotten great positive feedback on.
Okay. Would you say that's your follow-up communication or your whole process?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, communications, yeah.
That's huge. All right, guys, anybody else want to drop one in here?
We would like to go.
Okay.
Our names are Chelsea and Desiree from Rich and Grounded. And what we would say is that we have a very unique offering, which is the harmonic egg, and we see people on a consistent basis. So people are always coming in to see us, which is really beautiful. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Thanks.
It's a great win, guys. Okay, so that's what's going right. I don't know why this is so tiny. Bear with me here. Okay, now we're going to get into the wrong. So remember, what's wrong in your business? Something clearly broken, just doesn't feel right, it's not working. So who wants to volunteer as tribute and share something that's wrong right now that they're experiencing in their business, in their sales process within their business?
I can go. This is Heidi Furlong.
Hey, Heidi.
Hi, I'm Heidi Signature Style. I probably broken is follow-up. Like I think I follow up and I'll send like one text or an email or this, but then obviously I have to do more.
Okay. Hey, I understand that one. I can totally throw my name in there sometimes.
Hi, Kelsey. Kat Diaz, LaFleur Studio. I would say what's going wrong is once I get a good call, either it's with people I'm connecting with to do good referrals and do business partnerships, they kind of out of sight, out of mind, and I have to keep following up so they don't forget about me because otherwise it does go to the crickets level and you don't want people to forget about you. But I feel that same sense, and even if I do have a client and get a proposal out, everything went well, and then it goes crickets. And then I'm following up chasing like, did you read the proposal? Was everything good? Did you have questions, concerns? Can we review it? I always try and schedule a call with them to review it. They usually tell me no. And so then I'm finding it's taking months and months to get contracts signed and move forward.
Okay, that's a good one. So I dropped that under proposal process and follow up for that. And then also referral, because you mentioned at the beginning that nurturing aspect. And I think a lot of us here in NIA are probably nodding because we meet a lot of awesome people and it's making sure you're keeping in contact with your referrals, you're nurturing them. It's not just like a, hey, how are you? Great cup of coffee conversation. It's continuously connecting. So those are two really good ones. What else you guys got?
Okay.
I will go next. So I feel with us, we have a lot of people that come into the space and into the studio who are super curious and interested. And while they're here, they're really intrigued with what we do and what we have to offer. And we will often send them with like a brochure and a business card and information to find out more about what we do here. But I feel like there's kind of like a gap or a bridge that needs to be built where it's like these people come in, they're super excited, they take our business card, they go. Now, how do we stay in connection with these people kind of in the middle so that, and also just kind of continuing to build our community here too. We are newer here. And so, yeah, those are kind of the two main things that come to mind for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maintaining that connection, building almost like that presence within them, like knowing like, oh, we go to you guys for this. Okay. So building that and maintaining the connection with walk-ins, then just overall the new leads. Okay. Thank you guys. Anything else you guys want to add in here?
Kelsey, it looks like Tiffany maybe put one in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Let's look.
I don't know how to find it. Do you mind reading it to me really quick?
So so Tiffany Lotz, designer with California Closets and personal stylist. And then she said, I can rely on relationships to generate business instead of intentionally creating new opportunities each week. So I don't know exactly, Tiffany, can you expand? Do you mean like that you are relying on the relationships and you want to create new opportunities?
Yes, sorry. My kids might be really loud in the background.
You're fine.
It's summer. Yeah, I just feel like I tend to just go with what's like my comfort zone, and it's like relationships I already have instead of trying to get out and create new opportunities and like meet new people, you know?
Yeah. I'm
Like I
gonna
feel
drop
like,
in
yeah,
leave comfort zone.
yeah.
And I do want to caveat that's not always wrong. It's nice to have a comfort zone. So I don't want to say like bad, but I get what you mean. Okay. Forgive me, guys. I'm not used to this type of whiteboard, so I'm a little on the struggle bus with it. Oh my goodness. Okay, does anybody mind that these are a little overlapping? I can't seem to get them to click. Ooh, I got it. Okay, we'll just start here. Okay, so what's right, what's wrong? Now we're going to pick on confused. What are things that are confusing? Like deals aren't closing. You know, there's the lag in conversations of like, why are we not hearing back from people? Maybe Chelsea, with like you guys talking about it, maybe it's the why aren't we closing that sale while they're here? Those types of things. So, what do you guys want to drop in for confused?
Hey Kelsey, it's Crystal. I'm the founder of AWK Travel. I think what is confused for me right now is that my branding and my messaging that I'm telling people is not what the sales is saying. And my branding is saying that travel can be transformational, but my sales pitch is I can book things for you. And so there's a big disconnect that maybe I need to work on there.
Okay, that's a good one. What about social media? I feel like every time I do this conversation with people, something that comes up is they're confused on social. They like, do I use it? And then also, how do I pick from this fire hose? Am I supposed to be on Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn? What's the other one? No, not Snapchat. I can't remember. TikTok. You know, there's so many different things. Where the heck do I go? Like, what do I focus on first? And I know for myself, and I'm not a natural social media guru, so it's already intimidating. So I'm going to drop social media in there.
I will second that. I mean, I think sometimes when I'm like, I guess where my head goes is, do people really, are they interested in what I'm saying? And I overthink what I want to post.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all get stuck in the overthinking process. Anything else you guys have? I know we talked about that follow-up process, having referrals. Oh, go ahead.
I think for us, for Rich and Grounded, it's basically what is rich and grounded? What does this even mean? And so for us, it's really getting that message across. Are we a coffee shop? Are we a metaphysical? Are we a wellness studio? So really it's getting that into our messaging.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good one. And that kind of lines right back up with that branding and messaging, having those two things not really matching. I know when I go to events, sometimes I introduce myself and I'll have three different events and I introduce myself three completely different ways. And I'm like, what did I say last time? ChatGPT, remind me what I said last time. So, it's definitely a very common item. So you're not alone there. What about where are my leads coming in? Like I know I have leads, but like where are they coming in? How am I finding them? How are people finding me? Is it confusing? Do you know that? Or even I know one that I've had a couple people mention is where to focus their energy. Do they know that ROI? Do they know what the data is saying? Where leads are coming in? Like, are we looking at that stuff? Are you just going off of like, it feels like this works? So that ROI on leads, the funnels, really it's your funnels and your different approach. So it could be, do you have a lead magnet? Do you have which is a freebie? Is it your referral partners? Is it your social media? So what's working and what's not working? Okay. Oh no, I did it again. Oh, Zoom. Sorry, guys. It really doesn't like us today. See if I can-
Maybe Control Z or Command Z.
Oh no, we lost it. Oh, I see what you mean.
Mm. Command Control Y also. Like, does the redo and undo? Control Z, undo. I think it's Y for the redo.
Our confused disappear.
You got it.
Uh-oh, we lost our confused.
That's confusing.
Oh man. Well, technological glitch, guys. Okay, so we're gonna keep moving on to missing, and then we're gonna come back to confused and act like that never happened. Okay, so our last item is going to be what's missing. So for your what's missing, again, this is what's something that should exist in your sales process, but doesn't. I know I'm going to harp on what Jess always talks about. She did the previous one is, do you have a place where you're tracking your leads? Do you have a place like a spreadsheet, a simple spreadsheet where you're keeping track of your connections and making sure you're following up with them? All right, guys, what do you got? I see
I would
some
agree with that. Lead tracker, but I have one, but do I always use it the way it's supposed to be used or think I can remember or just make notes? And I don't. So one thing that I know that I have that's missing, I meet a lot of people and say everyone's not in, so I mean, a lot of great people, learn about their businesses, but then if they don't end up becoming a member of one of my groups, it's that stay in touch with them for a long term period. I don't have a.
Yep,
I agree, Lisa. I'm struggling with that a little bit too, because I meet a lot of people out at in-person events and they buy a necklace, and I haven't been great about keeping track of, Lisa buying an icon ring and then going back to Lisa and saying, "Hey, Lisa, I have the necklace. Remember, the necklace that matches your ring available." I mean, I just haven't been good about. It's a lot of info to keep, but I haven't been good about that at all, even keeping up with who bought what. And so it would be really good if I could, because then I could touch base if I have something new that would be complementary to something they already bought or something I know that I think they would like. So I'm
Right.
currently working on that, but it's definitely been a missing piece for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a big missing piece for me. So, like for instance, today I had someone send me a text and tell me that they had invited someone to come to a lunch that we have tomorrow. And I've met the person. She's visited my group twice. I've had a conversation with her. I've run into her in true social settings a few times over the last, say, year and a half. But I thought, but interesting. So she hasn't really heard from me though in any aspect of things we're doing new with network connection, things that I could have just reached out about her. Here's an interesting article. Like,
Yeah.
I know she's interested in politics, things like that, just any type of just that stay in front of them.
Yeah, be relevant, stay relevant.
Because sometimes like I've known people for 2 years and then they do end up becoming a client, right? But if you were just in front of them more often, that may lead to that. Or also, they're a great referral source, and you can be referral source for them, whether they're your client or not.
That's great.
I want to kind of tap onto that one too. You're saying referral source. Does everybody here have a referral process? Do you know what to say? Lisa, you don't count. Being like, hey guys, this is Kelsey. She does things. She fixes your business. You should just talk to her. Cool beans. Great conversation. That's not going to have somebody call. That's just going to be like, okay, cool. It's really nice to meet you. Hi. So do you have a referral process? And I know on NIA, we have that page where it's like how to do introductions. Are you looking at that and making sure it's relevant is one. Are you maybe putting it in your notes app so that when you're talking to Darla and you're like, hey, if you know anybody, this is my blurb. You can text it to her. And so she has it. Or do you have a DM strategy? I know that some of us are on social, some of us go to different platforms. There's lurkers everywhere. There's people creeping your stories. Do you say hi? Do you have a strategy, a super simple follow-up process? Just to say like, hey, I see you. So I'm gonna put that out there, guys. Is that something that's missing?
It's Crystal again. I would just say a lead magnet is missing. I can't find, I just really cannot find anything that is exciting to me that would excite other people. I've had so many things. And so I mean, it's really hard to grow an email list if you don't have a reason for people to join.
That's a fair one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one, Crystal. Okay.
I say, Crystal, though, today, what you did or yesterday on social media, where you said, I have two favors to ask. And one of them was to sign up for your email, your newsletter, right? And I'm thinking you got quite a bit of follow up on that. Did you?
I got about 6 people.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the
I
most
should
my
know.
email
I
list
thought it
has
was, I thought
grown
it was
in
a really,
months.
I
So,
thought it was a really good
yes.
post. I mean, because it was a call to action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, perfect. We're doing great on time. So I did have a little road bump because my confused is actually missing here, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to try to remember, but I'm a mom of 2 tiny terrors, so my brain sometimes taps out by 3 p.m. Okay, so for some of the things that were confused, if you or somebody that dropped it in here, I would love for you to just raise your hand because I'd like to triage it with you guys. One of the things that I really like to do with my clients is not walk away being like, cool, I went to this event and I feel very great. I have all these ideas and to-do list items, but I actually don't know what to do next. Or like I have these 5 things I'm going to fix, then I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to forget what those 5 things were. I'm going to get back into my daily routine. I'm going to just completely not make any progress on the things that I called out today. So this is where I like to push back and I like to ask you all to actually do some of the work here. So if there are any volunteers, I want to go through some of the confused items and we can talk through it and come up with 3 realistic next steps that you can do. And so if you're looking at the sheet I gave you, flip it over, take a look through your confused list. And if there's anything you want to triage, let's talk about it. And that's going to be your one thing that we focus on, and then come up with some actionable steps to move the needle for you. Don't all unmute at once, guys.
I'm trying to remember what was all in confused, but
I know it's driving me crazy.
one that's sticking out to me was the one y'all that have, I guess you were saying the confusion on, are you a coffee shop? Are you not a coffee shop? That one really stuck out to me. So I don't know if y'all want to have Kelsey
Yeah.
work with you a little bit.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, so the confusion is when people walk in, they're like, well, what are you? What is this place that we're in?
Hmm.
And they look around and they see it's a retail space. There's a healing room, there's a harmonic egg room. There's also an elixir bar where we do serve elixirs and some coffee. And so we're a lot of things. We're very multidimensional. So just kind of bringing it back to something that they know what we're all about and getting that messaging across.
So my first question is, you mentioned you have reoccurring customers already.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
know why they come to you?
Well, we believe that it's all energy, that we're energetic beings and we're drawing these people in and that they're very attracted to that.
And I
Okay.
would say we have certain people that come on a regular basis for the elixirs that we serve here. And then we also have clients coming in on a regular basis for our harmonic egg sessions as well. So we have, again, many different avenues where certain people have been, this is what works for them, this is why they show up. And so, yeah, again, just kind of going back to what Chelsea said is how do we kind of bring it all into one simple way of sharing what we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a marketer, but two things that come to mind with talking through that is one, getting curious and not being afraid to ask your clients, hey, when you, and your name of your business again is
Rich and grounded.
Rich and Grounded, be like, hey, when you hear, God, I would even put this on an Instagram story. When you hear Rich and Grounded,
That's a good
what do
idea.
you think of?
Mm.
Why do you call us? Why do you come here? I know when I was trying to figure out like what I want to be when I grow up and I was in corporate and I was like, what do I want to do with my life? And I ended up asking people like, why do you call me? What do you call me for? Like, what do you want from me? Essentially, get curious. Start asking them. I would start with the people that you talk to that are coming in. I would post it on social media and be like, hey, when you think of us, what do you think about? And you mentioned that you guys have a couple different avenues, different things they're coming to you for. So instead of like, I come to you for elixirs, maybe it's the transformation that you're providing them. It's that it's the holistic experience that they're walking away with because every person's going to be a little bit different. And so you're tapping into the needs. So looking at that too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So before you go on mute, what are some of those action items that you guys think that you can take? Like 1 to 3, just real quick. What's something that comes to mind
Action items.
that you
Well,
can?
I wrote down what you said, and we're definitely going to put it up on our Instagram story and ask our audience. Something that we had started before that I would love to do again with our regular customers and clients too is asking them, what does rich and grounded mean to you? And just get into that again and just kind of welcome the feedback from them. I think that's a great starting point and kind of go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also keep in mind why you started it. What was the reason behind it? And if you're looking at that vision and what you want to bring, are you hitting that? Now, you guys feel good with your next steps?
yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you write down so you don't forget. Okay, who wants to volunteer as my tribute here? Who's the next one? If there's something on your mind. And if you want to talk through DM strategy, I got a quick, simple solution for you guys. Because that
Oh,
is something
yeah. Let's talk about that.
So one thing that I've learned from my previous coach, Stan Martell. So if you don't know who he is, go follow him on Instagram. He's fantastic. Social media doesn't have to be hard. It's not rocket science. And I'm somebody that, as an ops person, and I love seeing big pictures and going really deep, I can overanalyze. And so, really simple system for your social media. Hey, Darla, thanks for the follow. Are you here for the content? Or are you looking to buy something special for yourself?
Okay, I like it.
And the easiest thing for you guys to do to keep it so unbelievably simple, put it in your notes app, wherever you work out of most on social media. So if you're on your computer the most, put a little sticky note. If you're on your phone, open it up, pin it in your notes, and have that little spiel. Like, hey, Lisa, thanks for the follow. Are you here to get your business organized or are you here for the content? Start the conversation. I've had people that are like, I'm just here for the content. I'm like, great. If you want anything that you want to see more of, just let me know. If you think anything's really awkward, also let me know. And if they're interested in it, then navigate the conversation from there. And you can even have a follow-up response to if they say to learn more or to buy myself something beautiful and special as I go through this shift in my life and celebrate something. Have a little cheat sheet for yourself. And it takes, gosh, depending on how many people, I would say do 5 a day. 5 daily opens is what we're going to call it. And you're going to message anybody that follows you on Instagram. And I'm pretty sure you can set up a mini chat for this. You can automate this process to where they can, if they say content, you can just say, hey, thanks. Glad to have you here. If they say something else, then you can reply to them. But 5 daily opens, it could be anybody that's DMing you or anybody that's following you, DMing you, or if you have lurkers. It says I'm not always getting messages, but I have people that watch my stories, and if I don't know them, I go creep them. I'm like, hey, it's great to see you. We all love being seen. How does that feel?
I like that idea.
Do you think 5 is doable?
Mm.
Okay. And find a time of the day where it's easiest for you guys. If you know you have like a scrolling dead zone time of day, make those 5 minutes your time of your DM strategy. And then we're going to circle back on the NIA referral stuff. Go into your profile. How are you helping people introduce you? Make sure it's easy. I know that when I looked at mine first time for a text message, I was like, nobody's going to send that novel. Can't make it this long. So make sure it makes sense to you. Anyone else have another item in mind?
So I think Heidi put hers in the chat.
Okay.
Which was Heidi, was it where are my leads coming from? Was your confusion?
Yes. Where are my leads coming from?
Okay. So for that one, I would start asking my current clients where they found you. How'd you find me? And even if they're friends and even if they're family, still ask them. And if they're like, well, it's because, I'm your best friend, I'd be like, cool. If I wasn't your best friend, where do you think you would stumble upon my stuff? Get curious and ask. And if you're sitting there, I've had one person I was talking to, she was I'm going to say art dealer. I don't know if that's the proper term. Local art dealer here up in the Woodlands. And she's like, I just started. I'm like, okay, how many clients do you have? She's like, one. I'm like, ask them. And if you're just getting started and you know somebody who's doing what you do, but they're a little ahead of you, ask them, hey, how do people find you? And just start getting curious. I mean, what's the worst they can say? Nothing? Go away?
I just did my
Kind of
first
have a-
one.
Oh,
I
good
just
girl.
did it. A new
Good.
follow came in and I just did it.
And did you save that? And you literally copy and paste it in, guys. Practice it. And
Yeah.
Heidi, did that answer? Did you want to talk through it a little bit more of just getting a little
Well,
more?
I kind of have more of a different confusion in that I
Okay.
have a really big following. I have over 1,000 people on Instagram. I have over 1,000 people in my company client list. I have over 1,000 people that I send a weekly newsletter to. That's a lot of people. So, but I feel like it all falls on deaf ears. So I send a newsletter, I post things, I send e-blasts through my system, and I don't hear anything. So it's like
Okay.
I guess that's my confusion. Like I feel like I'm doing all the right things and I have a huge following of people, but that's not converting to anything.
So for that, I would start looking, and I know it's not fun, but it works. Start looking at the data a little bit. Look at your emails.
Yeah.
See if there's anything that's being opened up because maybe it's cyclical. Maybe there's a time of year where you're seeing, and if you can pull that data and just see if there's a different open rate, could it be your subject or the time of year? And maybe see something like that. Or when you go to send your next email, can you do an A/B test and do 2 totally different type of subjects and grab
And
people?
I use Flowdesk and it tracks everything. It tracks who's opened it, which links did they click on. It tracks all that, but then I don't do anything with that data. So that's probably what I need to do is,
Yeah.
hey, I see you clicked on my website, these 5 people. Do you have any
Yeah.
questions or just
Oh,
follow up on
creep
that?
away. And if they don't want
Yeah.
you to creep, they'll tell you not to creep. But I mean, I would go pull the data and I believe you if you can extract it and dump it into AI, I'd have it analyze it. I use Claude. I've used ChatGPT. Claude just is like a better boyfriend. So I will drop in questions and just be like, help me decipher this like I'm in 5th grade and I want to understand what this data is saying. Oh, I tell it 5th grade because it's like a little higher than 4th. So give it the instruction to assess your data for you and
Yeah.
have it extract it. And same, so that's your emails. Instagram, I believe after 90 days you lose your data unless you're under Meta Business. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Jess would probably know. But I would definitely look at that if you can track that in like a simple spreadsheet. Or if you want to go look at your reels, see which ones are going more viral. And if you guys don't know this person, there's a woman that I follow on Instagram. It's Shannon, I want to say McIntyre. Her social media content strategy is super digestible, easy to follow. Shannon, ugh, I can't pronounce names. McKinstre. Shannon. Just message me on Instagram and I can send it to you. But she gives you really quick tips on how to do things, and they're plug and play reels. And whenever I use hers, I get at least 300 to 400 more views. So go look at your reels, see what's working. And if it's been like, I don't know, 3 months, repost it, reshare it.
Well, the thing is, okay, now you've got 300 views, but then what?
Nothing. That's the pain point of Instagram. You just got to track and see what works. Instagram is the
Yeah.
long game. I look at it as like your organic
Yeah.
SEO it's
Right.
the long game. You're building
Yeah.
that know, like, and trust factor. So
Right.
I'd pull the data from your emails because that's where people are engaging. See where the hot points are in your emails if it can give you that info,
Mhm.
and see what you can start pulling from that. And even the
Yeah.
timeline, if you look at your sales, I would even go be curious about your sales and see if there's a trend in your sales. If you see bumps in January, February, or March, and kind of see where things fall.
I mean, most of my sales don't come from any of that. All my sales come from my relationships and like events, and when I make personal appointments, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, that's nice, great things. And people will say to me, "Oh, I saw you were wearing a black tank top in February. Tell me about that." I'm like, I don't remember what I was wearing in January, but I get more of that where people see me, they know what I'm doing. So that's all good. But taking that data and doing something with it is really what I probably need to do.
Yep. I would leverage, unless you bring somebody on to help you with that, I would start being curious and leveraging AI to assess the things for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I know it's the 52. You guys want to do one more? Is there anyone else?
Just had something in the chat here from Crystal.
I use Stanley for IG. It runs on Claude, but has direct access to your feed. Cool.
It doesn't have to be a discussion, but I just wanted people to know that it was out there.
Thank you for sharing that resource. Yeah, and again, if you see people doing what you're doing and they're further along than you, ask them. Ask them if they have any tips. Never be afraid to ask. I would not be an NIA if I didn't creep. Some of you may know Kirsten in the Houston group. I creeped her on Instagram. How old's my daughter? She's 4.5 years ago, being like, "Hi, I just moved to Houston. I have no friends. I'm super pregnant. I would love to say hello. I'm an OBM just like you." And she brought me to an event. And then I went to another event because of her. I met Lisa. No, actually, I met another NIA member. She brought me to meet Lisa. And I wouldn't be here if I just said hello. So leverage your connections. Okay, I'm going to do a quick screen
Can I
share.
ask a question?
Yeah,
On
go
the Crystal, when you said you use Stanley for Instagram, are you using it meaning is analyzing your data? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it analyzes your data, it pulls what's working and will give you suggestions. It pulls trending videos and will redo them for you and your voice. So it's helped a ton with hooks, with the videos themselves. Like I was doing a lot of just stock footage of destinations and I'm almost all like talking heads now. So it's a lot of me just sharing my perspectives, but I would go from 60 or 70 views to now in the hundreds every time, quite frequently over 1,000. So I don't play with the data a lot, but if you're looking for the analyzing, it will say this had this many views and here's why people were attracted to that compared to this one that didn't have as many views, and here's the difference. So has been really helpful. I'd love to get into the data more, but life.
Yeah.
But it's nice because it's following all that for you. And a lot of other AI systems do not have direct access to Instagram, but this one goes in, it can watch my videos. reads
It
my
does all of that.
captions, and it also scripts and makes captions for me in my brand voice. So it's a pretty good tool, I think.
So definitely go poke around and be curious as you guys are doing things. I mean, we're all testing the water every single day, trying new things. So before we close everything out, I just want to do a quick like, where do I start as you're looking at your list? And as you work through maybe your item that we talked through today and you're looking at the rest of them, it can feel like you're kind of drinking from a fire hose and you don't know where to start and what to do next. And then you start shitting all over yourself. So I want you to take a moment. And when you're, I see you laughing, Heidi. When you look at your list and you're trying to figure out what should I do next, I want you to just keep this in mind. What do you need to have? What's nice to have? And if you're going, cool, Kelsey, what the heck does that mean? You need to eat dinner. It's really nice to have a glass of wine, but you need to eat dinner. So when you're making decisions in your business, what do you need to do to move the needle? Because guys, sales is how money comes in. Money gives us freedom. Money gives us, it's, you know, it's, we need it. And having people that we can help is just amazing. So what do you need to do to move that, your funnel? What do you need to do? And then what's nice to have? So I want you guys to make sure you think about that. And then after we finish this call, I want you, if you haven't written anything down, pick one item, set 5-minute timer, and just come up with 3 action items so that when you start your day tomorrow, or when you start your day it's tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and you carve out 30 minutes, you're not starting from zero. So if you want to find me, I know I'm on Instagram at Kelsey Daingerfield, not related to Rodney. But you guys can find me on there. And
Your
then,
QR code didn't work, Kelsey.
oh, darn.
It's been
No.
deactivated for some reason, it says.
Okay, I will drop it in here if I can even find the chat.
I'm pretty sure I follow you, but I was checking.
Okay, Kelsey Daingerfield. It's also it's literally a Kelsey at Kelsey Daingerfield in my name right here. I keep it for all my Zooms. So just Kelsey Daingerfield on Instagram. And then if you guys want to get past the starting point, like I was just talking about, and you want to get some help with this, scan this QR code to get your business clarity audit. I'm selling it for NIA members 50% off or $53 off. So it's usually $300. It's going to be $247. This is something I like to kind of remind people in the summertime. We do get stuck with being like, hey, it's summer break and like I'm going to slow down because business slows down. That's when you should really focus on leaning in and doing the things and being strategic with planning your time. Because let's face it, we all want to get outside. So again, thank you guys for joining me today. Reach out if you have any questions. I really hope you have some good takeaways. Darla, I'm glad you started using that strategy. Keep me posted on how it goes.
I will. Thank you, Kelsey.
And if you guys, again, if you need anything, I'm on Instagram. So shoot me a message or even at NIA.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you so much. And let me go ahead and remove that little spotlight here. Hey, guys, it's me again. All right, Kelsey, thank you again. Wonderful presentation. I do encourage you all to check back with us. All right, next week, we are going to be featuring Miss Ann Carden. Come on back. Same time, same place, June 24th. Miss Ann Carden, stop competing and win more business. Become the obvious choice in any market or industry. Do check back for that. And also check back with us on the 1st for our Network with the Nations, where you guys can make connections with people all across the globe. So be back for that. Kelsey, once again, thank you so much. Lisa, thank you for the introduction. And all, come on back. We love seeing you. Thank you so much.
Everybody. Bye,
Take care.
guys.